If you're thinking about buying a head torch, you could do a lot worse than choose the Qark from Alpkit. A solid all-rounder with great performance at a reasonable price. It was a slam dunk for my Christmas list last year. Let's take a closer look. The first thing you notice when picking up the box is that the Qark is reasonably lightweight, coming in at 125 grams, including the head strap. As well as the head torch itself, there's a small carry pouch in what looks like ripstop nylon with a drawstring closure. Completing the package is a 50cm USB-A to micro USB charging lead and a simple folded A4 sheet user guide. With a light output of up to 580 lumens and 5 different operating modes, the Qark looks like it's been designed for all-round use, whether that's hiking and hill walking, camping, or as in my case, when you've got hands full with tools and workpieces and holding a torch between your teeth just doesn't cut it. Add to that an inbuilt lithium polymer rechargeable battery pack and the flexibility to operate from 3 AAA batteries. It's easy to see why this head torch has consistently received good reviews. The torch body is made from a hard plastic that appears pretty robust. It's hinged at the rear onto a bracket to which the head straps are attached. A small ribbed ratchet type moulding allows the angle of the light to be adjusted through almost 90 degrees. This gives great flexibility from a heads up looking straight ahead position to shining straight down to aid with foot placement on a dark path, for example. On the front are 2 LED light sources. The main white LED is surrounded by a large metal bezel which allows the beam focus to be adjusted from spot to flood. The secondary red LED is protected by a raised moulded ridge and sits behind a plastic lens cum diffuser with no adjustment possible. Pressing the red power button at the top once turns the torch on, with the main white LED initially on its lower power setting of 30 lumens. Press the power button once more and the unit advances to medium power at 270 lumens. Each subsequent press will then cycle through the remaining modes of high power at 580 lumens, red light at 10 lumens, and flashing red light if you fancy holding a disco out on the hills. One last press turns the unit off again. Clearly, the brighter the setting, the shorter the battery life, and whilst you'll only get 2.5 hours on the main high power setting, reducing the brightness down to low power should give you around 18 hours. The included 3.7 volt lithium polymer battery pack has a capacity of 800 mAh. To charge the battery pack, it does first need to be removed, but this is straightforward and done by simply gripping the long sides and lifting. Charging from a totally flat battery takes around 2 hours and 30 minutes, at which point the battery pack can be refitted. One of the Qark's great features is that it will happily run from 3 standard AAA batteries, so it's well worth shoving a set into your rucksack if you anticipate being out in the dark on the hills for an extended period with no recharging capability. The head straps are made from 2-tone elasticated webbing in black and orange and appear well stitched. There's a good range of adjustment to fit different head sizes, and I found getting a good fit for my head straightforward and trouble-free. That's more than I can say for the sleep mask I reviewed last year. The overhead strap helps keep it nice and central on your head and avoids any tendency to drift, which would result in the light shining slightly to one side or the other. Whilst the head straps can be removed from the back plate, I found this very fiddly and would be a little worried about breaking the fingers. So unless you desperately want to wash the straps, I'd probably leave well alone. There doesn't seem any way to completely remove the overhead strap only, although I guess you could leave one end dangling down behind your head, like a tail, if you really needed to. Okay, I think we've covered all the main features. So what's it actually like in the dark? Well, it's not exactly the depths of the Lake District, but it's the wilds of my back garden, so it'll have to do. Starting off with the head torch pointing straight ahead. Low power. Medium power. High power. For reference, the small statue is about 10 to 12 metres away. That's 35 to 40 feet in old money. Low power, medium power, high power. Then, with the torch pointing straight down, and finally, with the red light. With only 10 lumens to play with, this is not going to reach very far, but it's certainly enough to look at a map without alerting anyone to your presence by using a bright white light. Ideal for scout night hunts then. Also worth considering if, like me, you're into astronomy and want to make some adjustments to your telescope without affecting your night vision. So, did I buy this myself with my own money, or was it gifted to me? Well, it was gifted, but only as a Christmas present from my daughters, so I think I can be fairly objective. How did they choose it from the myriad of alternatives? Well, one of them is a very keen hill walker and has had a Qark for a couple of years now and swears by it. So what do I like about it? It's nice and bright, but with a range of settings. It's got a comfortable fit, which are easy to adjust. It's got a flexible battery compatibility, and although I didn't pay for it, I think good value. Any negatives? Well, no, not really, apart from the head straps being fiddly to remove, but I can't see that being something I'll need to do too often. Perhaps the other one would be the fact that you need to cycle through 3 levels of white light before you get to the red mode. If you're trying to keep your nightlight vision or hide from other marauding scouts, you'll need to keep your hand over the main light until you've pressed the power button 4 times. Although it doesn't have some of the additional functionality available in pricier offerings, such as a battery charge indicator, the Qark, in my opinion, offers a good balance between functionality, ease of use and price. And I for one am grateful that Santa dropped one in my stocking. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Qark head torch from Alpkit. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And I know you probably won't, but I'll ask anyway. Do consider subscribing and hit the notification bell icon too. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.